Hello everyone, Wangel here, and welcome back to the Radical, my Let's Play series for Rimworld. Now, in the last episode, we managed to get started with actually digging into the mountain, ready to expand into a mountain base. Although that sounds a lot more than we have actually done, considering all we've done is dig out a corridor and we're getting started on our indoor farm. Now, that is actually going to be the focus of today's episode because we're very limited in our resources. There's only so many animals on the map, and we haven't got anywhere to grow. So we're going to have to try and get this farm up and going as fast as we can. Now, there is a few steps we need to do. In fact, let me just get my colonists working on it while I'm talking. So there's a few things we need to do. We need to mine out this section of the farm to begin with. We need to smooth the ground so we can actually put topsoil over it. And then when the research for topsoil is actually done, thanks to Miri, we need to actually make the soil using all the crushed stones that we got nearby and making fertilizer so we can put it together to make dirt to put on top, and then we can actually start growing stuff. Now, that's going to be a lot of work, so we're going to be focusing on that today. But there is 3 things I actually want to talk about for today's episode. Four things. Firstly, let me just say Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. May the 4th be with you. Right, it's always a bit of a laugh. I was tempted to try and do something Star Warsy for today, but I ended up being a bit busier than I anticipated, hence the lateness of today's episode. So, yeah, that didn't quite work out, but I hope you guys have a great day nevertheless. Number 2 is I want to ask you guys, the viewers, about how would you like to see these videos sort of made. At the moment, I'm making them about 45 minutes long and completely unedited. You see every bit of gameplay from when I start recording to the end. Now, personally, that's how I prefer to watch these Rimworld Let's Plays. For fun watching people like Wycon roleplays and that play them. But I want to ask you guys, what would you prefer to see if there's anything different? Would you like longer episodes or shorter episodes? Are you happy with the unedited approach, or would you like me to do some editing in so many ways just to try and remove any of the day-to-day stuff and focus on more important aspects, depending on your opinion? I mean, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll take those ideas on board. The third thing I want to bring up is I've just got a couple of extra mods that I've added to the collection, and for this Let's Play series as well. One of them is just a quality of life mod which I forgot to subscribe to since the latest 1.0 release, and that is basically having your colonists use their inventory space to carry stuff as well. So for example, if Miri here had 4 t-shirts here, and I asked her to move all 4 of them into the stockroom. Instead of just picking them up one at a time, she will actually hold some of them in her inventory and go to the stockpile and then drop them all off there. So that's going to help out. I've also got one for wandering caravans, which is going to make it so every so often we may have a caravan of animals with the cargo packs and what have you, their bags, saddlebags, that's the word, spawn on the map, and we can potentially kill them and take the goods as well as the bodies, or tame the animals. If we do that though, there is a chance that the caravanners could turn up and want their stuff back. In that case, we have to either give it back or kill them. So there's a potential thing to get some more resources. I've also got one that's going to allow us to be able to get tablets to vaccinate our colonists. So in the game, you can actually have your colonists suffer from diseases like flu, malaria, sensory mechanites, dysentery, and so on. So we can actually research how to make vaccine tablets. Oh, excuse me. Right, back to there. So we can actually work on tablets that will actually immunize them for a quarter of a year, which in this game is about 30 days. So as long as you continue to make sure they get the medication, they can make them immune, which is going to be quite useful, I would say, especially in this map where we could be coming up with flu if we're unlucky. And then finally, I've got a mod which I think is going to be quite good for late game tech, but also a fairly balanced approach, because a number of YouTubers I have watched who play Rimworld end up having technology that allows them later in the game to be able to make basically infinite stockpiles of late tier resources like plasteel, uranium, and so on. And it always bothers me because I don't think there should be more to it than just build a deep mining unit and having your people just sit there fulfilling a bill of constantly making thousands of steel or hundreds and thousands of plasteel. I think that just doesn't work to me. So what I've got instead is a recent mod that came out on the workshop called Transmutation, which allows me to actually... Hang on a second, I need to do something here while I remember to do it. let's cancel in this bit and this bit. Here we go. Right, but yeah, it allows me to do research that will allow me to build a transmutation bench, or workbench, so to speak, and lets us, so as long as you build the power cells for it, as well as the other resource, which I can't remember off the top of my head it needs, you can actually transmutate different materials. So we could transmutate food, for example, into wood, and vice versa. And we can have it go up as well, so it can start off with 1-to-1 transmutation, and as you want more rare materials, it will actually require more to switch from one to the other. I think it's a very good technology that will hopefully balance out the late game needs. But that's that bit, and really that's about it. What was the third? Was there a third thing? You know what? I can't remember. Oh no, that was it. I just wanted to show you how I planned out the little base a bit more since the last episode. So, to start with here, I noticed that this particular block was only 4 squares wide instead of 5, and it bothered me enough that I planned it out now, so it should be fixed once we're done. In fact, speaking of fixed, I need to cancel this particular one here. There we go. That one is, so it's going to be equal. It just bothers me in Rimworld if it's not like that, you know, unless you planned it. So over here then, we've got the start of our hospital. We can expand downwards if needed to, but the basic plan is we're going to have a main room for the hospital beds and the other tech that we can research to do things like vital monitors, life support, and so on. And we're going to have a small little room here then for our medical, medicine, bionics, drugs, and so on. Then down here is the start of what's going to be our prison area. So we can have our prisoners not only working in the area, but we can also give them slave collars and expect them then to work around the colony as well and do their own research and things like that, and actually help the colony while they're here, rather than just sort of sit around, and especially if they're going to be very difficult to recruit to the team. So yeah, a bit of an expansion. And of course we still got all this to do out as well, so we're going to be keeping busy for the next episode or two at the very least. So, colonists are doing off here. Now, like I said, we've now finished farming. Good news. Now, I've been thinking about how to basically try and make this a little bit quicker. So first of all, let's double the speed. And I've been thinking about how to make this happen a little bit faster, because we do need to get this done. And it's going to take a bit of time and resources to do it. So what we're going to do first of all, I'm going to actually ask for a power conduit to be sent down the middle here. And we're going to ask for the heater to be moved into here. Now what I'm planning to do eventually is to actually allow us to put a sun lamp here as well, because we need that to grow. But it also means my colonists are going to be able to work in the light, and they'll be able to mine much more quickly. So in fact, let's have you working on that first of all, Tyler, since everyone else is asleep. The second thing we need to do is, like I said, we need to smooth out the ground. Now, I don't want to do too much in one time, because it does take a while to do that. And not only that, but I don't particularly want Tyler to be doing all the extra work, even though he's awake twice as long as these guys. So what I'm going to do is have Nina help out as well, so we get it done more quickly. And, no, we want... Oh, okay, you're actually finishing it off too. Good. Finish that off, and then we'll get started upon a sun lamp in here, so you actually get some light to do your work in with. Doop. There we go. That goes there, and then we're sorted. So what I want to do is come to work, and I want to put the construction up a little bit for Nina. So when we give her any jobs that require her to smooth out the ground, she will do that first, and then mine afterwards. And I think you're fine, actually, Tyler, for your one. Yeah, I think that will work fine. We'll put that... I'll put that down to 4 just for the moment. But the other thing I would like to do is actually give you some crafting, and I want that at a reasonable level. The reason being is I want Tyler to be working on the rock bill here, so he can make the dirt, while Miri continues doing research because of priorities. I want to be able to get the higher tech that we're going to need later on, and if she's constantly interrupting it to go and work on the rock mill, it's not going to work out too well. So let's just sort this out first of all. So we don't need exactly 22 of all this. I'm going to go over a very limited amount, because we are limited with the, the fertilizer. So let's switch this over first, and then we'll plan it out a little bit more better. So let's switch these, switch this. Okay, so Tyler now is going to be the one focusing on doing all of this. Now what we're going to do is unsuspend this, and I'm thinking it's 2 squares per, 2 bits of dirt per square. So if we work on, say, the first 2 lines, that's 10. So that means we need 20 bits of dirt. So if we do this, we can drop that down to 2. Now to make each of these, we need 5 clay. So each bill. So we need drop that down to make 10, like that. That can be dropped down now to 4, because we need 2 for the dirt and then 2 for the clay. And then in order to make that then, we just need to drop that down to 2 as well. There we go, sorted. So now when Tyler is not busy doing anything up there, he can come down and start working on this. The last thing we need though is to sort out our fertilizer. Now the way I've thought about doing this, and I mentioned about it in the last episode, is using Miri here to basically cut up some bodies. And any raiders we have potentially come at us, we can use her to cut it up here, because while the entire colony, for the most part, at least these two, would take a mood debuff because of an intelligent being basically cut to pieces. If they did it, it would actually give them a worse debuff, whereas Miri doesn't really care at all. So I'm going to have her do that once we clear out the chunks from here. Anyway. Now, how much we need to actually do this is what I want to check out first. So let me just unlock this. I think this is the one... Yeah, this is the one that has all the options, including meat. Okay. So, let's grab you. I'm going to ask you to do one job here. Tyler can focus doing up there. Now, how much is that? 55, 80... Okay, that's 84 meat. Jesus, that's a lot. Okay. We're maybe not going to be doing this more than once, I think. I will actually allow this to happen many times if we have dead bodies and do it. I think I'm pretty happy to allow that to happen. Right, Miri, load that up in our compost barrel. Oh, wait, that was the other thing I needed to check out. Let me slow things down a moment while I do this. So, at the moment, our hopper is, again, on standard mode instead of clean. Fine. But at the moment, it won't allow us to actually use human meat or insect meat in the nutrient paste, because that will give our colonists a debuff for eating humans or bugs. Now, what I wanted to check is, does that actually include all the alien meats in the game? It doesn't. Here's the arachne aliens. And as you can see here, most humans do dislike the idea of eating this. So I just need to pop through this quickly. Try and remember all the different ones out there, because I believe here's one. Designer meats. War butchered meats. That's for the genetic mod. We've got... insect meat is blocked off. That one actually seems okay. It seems like we can actually eat iron husk beetles, but not insect meat. There you go. Kangaroo meat. Where the hell did we get kangaroos from? I don't remember that being in the game. Logans. Yep, that's one. Oni. That's another one. Whack for the raccoons. That's another one. Scalemen here. I believe, where is, I think, yeah, soldier morphs is definitely one. Ooh, research on batteries has been finished. Cool. Disinfected meat, that's fine. Tank meat, fine. Twisted meat. Oh, Christ, really? If that's what I think it is, that's actually kind of disgusting. So what it is, there's a faction that's in the game thanks to one of the mods I've got, which has your character, the faction consists of basically mutants, I suppose you could say. And it seems weird that if that's their meat, that you can actually get it from them. Ugh, it's weird. Anyway, that's been pasted down to these two, so we don't have to worry about any sort of intelligent meat being put in here, so to speak. But, speaking of meat, we're now going to carve up... What was the... I remember she was a scale man. I think her name was Ellen or something, wasn't it? Yeah, Ellen the novelist. Congratulations, your body is going to go on its next journey out of the big hole in the ground that's been covered over with dirt, and instead you're going to be cut up into little pieces and turned into fertilizer. Right. Okay, 1 second. Let me just double check. This was the one that's just for human meat, isn't it? This is the one, I believe, for all the meat. Yeah. Okay, so what we can do is... It took 84. How much meat do we get from a human? Well, scale man we get 77, so we need another 7 meat. Now, I don't particularly want her to use... to leave it behind, so what I'll do, let's unforbid this. To forbid these, I mean. Yeah, that one too, and this one's been done. So what we can do is actually ask her to make the compost, and she will use this as well as a bit of the excess meat. Ooh, a raid. A group from Orion Corps, some soldiers from Orion Installation have arrived nearby. Oh, Gizmo. Hello, Gizmo. Let's have a look at Gizmo in a moment. Gizmo, he's got this. This is a micro whale gun. Mark 5, right? A whale gun, for those of you unfamiliar with sci-fi, is a gun that relies on high-powered magnets to basically shoot the ammunition at a very high speed. In Warhammer 40,000 universe, the Tau are well known for using whale guns, and their guns can shoot through a tank, as in one side and out the other. And this is a pistol version of said weapon. Now, it's very accurate, very powerful, and it will make a fine addition to our team, but we need to get it off him first of all. Now, how are we going to do this? Because we're going to have to be careful we don't get shot too much. Okay, Nina and Miri are both going to come out and help, I'm afraid. So, you're going to come out here. Tyler, fill up the compost bin. Be a bit protective, will you? Now, how are we going to do this? He's got a very effective gun, but so do we. And we outnumber him 2 to 1. So what I'm thinking is perhaps we can actually try and draw him towards us. But I don't really want to lose that, so I'll tell you what. Nina, you're going to pop here by the door. This may pull him towards us then. I'll tell you what, let's keep the door open. Maybe you can go behind here. Wow, just hear that thud. And crap, she's already been hit. And that's a lot of damage to her arm already. Okay, what we're going to do is pull her back. Leave the door open. Is he going to try and come in towards us? Or is he smart enough to... Okay, he's not. Okay, let's see if we can try and be cheeky about this. And use CQC. Take him down. Gotcha. Now, is he any good? Here's my next job. He hates dumb labor, he's got bloodlust and copper, he's very passionate about a whole bunch of stuff. Construction could be really useful. Social, intellectual. Genome sculpture. He was engineered in a lab as part of the Genome Project. It's implanted in birth encyclopedia knowledge of all aspects of xenobiology. Okay, so he's actually really good at those jobs because of it. And he loves sculpting garden gnomes. Fair enough. You're not good at cooking, firefighting, and cleaning, but we do have a cook available with Tyler. The rest of his stats are reasonable, especially the social aspect. It could be a nice addition to the colony. The only problem is where we're going to stick him in the meantime. I'll tell you what, we'll improvise. This is a wooden door. I'll tell you what, we're going to... Is he still alive? Yeah, he's still alive because we just think. Let's stick him in here for the moment. Really tiny little room, but it'll do the job. Right, go and capture him. Miri, how are you doing? You're dead in 10 hours if we're not careful. Right. Go over and start healing. In fact, pick yourself up that new gun. Pick it off hand so you have the two of them. Right. Start tending to yourself as a matter of priority. That needs to be closed at some point. We'll speed things up a bit. Nina is going to have to get one to look at her arm. But there we go. Miri is now going to be fixed. Okay, let's have you actually come down here and rest till you're healed. So Miri can go and patch you up too. There we go. Now, Gizmo, what about you? You got an Orion exoskeleton. Wow. And how difficult... You're not actually going to be too difficult to recruit. Let's just go straight to that. There was a bit of comment about which one to actually use. Does reduce it... Because you need to reduce this down to 0 first before we can actually recruit them. And there is a bit of debate out there whether or not you need to... Having them reduce resistance first and then recruiting actually gets that down faster. But in my experience, and other people have agreed, it doesn't. You can just recruit straight away. It will knock it down the same way as reduce resistance. The only difference is this is actually more useful if you want to train up your social, because your characters will just keep going in and trying to chat to them even when that gets down to 0. Whereas this one at least will mean that you can make sure that they're recruited as soon as they're done. Okay, we can get rid of this now. Oh crap. Wrong one, wrong one. Danger, Roy Robertson. Danger. Right, let's stick that back in here. Make sure that it's another sleeping spot. Prisoners, there we go. We're going to build another... I'll tell you what, we'll build another one here for the moment. And we'll grab in return a light and stick it in there. He doesn't need much. He is a prisoner after all. And because he's going to need some... Fine, capture him for me. Thank you. Since he's going to need water, and a thing that's really made me amuse when I was watching another Let's Play recently, is we need a water tub. So what this means, we can actually use the tub now to put the water in, and they can drink it as well as wash in it, which I know sounds weird, but it's Rimworld. Work with it, okay? Anyway, we need to unblock these now so we can actually use them. There we go. Right. Thank you, Tyler, for doing that. We're going to have power run into it anyway. We just need the toilets, cubicles, and all that going. That's good. And thank you for moving out the heavy... Okay, he's actually ready to go. That's good. How about... Told an old story about sweating. Oh, wow. So yeah, we're going to work on you. I mean, we could just enslave him using the collar, but we want to actually recruit him as a member, I think. Although you're not keeping your gun, I'm afraid. Alright, how's this getting on anyway? Okay, we're actually done, pretty much. Okay, next job then we can actually focus on is smoothing out the ground. So we're going to go with 10 spaces for the moment. Because we've got 10 lots of compost, that means that will work. Yeah, that'll be fine. Nina, sorry to wake you up again. Can you go and just fill up his water tub? Thank you. Alright, what wildlife is available on the map right now? Nothing. Okay, just relying on 10 squares it is. The rest of it would just drain our resources way too much food-wise. Okay, oh yeah, Tyler, pop outside for me a moment. Just so we can make sure then that we close the door behind us. Otherwise anyone could just walk in. There we go, better, thank you. Right, little Gizmo, you're healing up. I like the fact he's got this exoskeleton. It really is going to make him quite good at manipulation and moving around. He's going to be a lot faster and all of that. It's a good thing even though we took quite a few hits. And this is what I mean, that gun is powerful. I'm really happy that maybe now has got a dual wielding aspect to it. Right, so yeah, that's working out. Tyler's going to do that once that's finished. Let me just pop the bed rest down to 3 for the moment. I don't want them resting, but I want them to be able to focus on doing other stuff in the meantime. So when they go to bed, they can actually get that buff then to give themselves, increase their... to be able to heal up more faster. That's the word I was thinking of. But I might as well get them continue doing research. Although, speaking of research, let me double check. Right, yes, of course. So, I put this down as a possible thing because I wanted the demon breath plants. But I double checked, and yes, I do need an Oni to research how to use it. Or what I'll do a bit of research and then stop. So there's no point in me researching that. Instead, I'm going to try and work on 1 or 2 other things. So we're going to go for agriculture. What I want to do next is actually mending. There we go. So that's a mod that's been put in that I like, which allows me to actually repair items. So I'll explain that in just a moment for those of you unfamiliar with the game. But we'll do that. We're going to have some solar panels, I think. What else do I really want? I want... Where is it? Modern furniture. There we go. That will be useful. And then we want microelectronics. This is going to give me access to a high-tech research bench, which means we can actually research faster. Although, speaking of researching faster, another thing we can do is build a file cabinet. It's a nice little side tech thing which you can get, and it basically just increases your research speed by 5%. It's not too overpowered, but it also means that we can get done a little bit faster. And I suppose if you're researching, you want somewhere to keep all your notes, you know? So Tyler, if you can work on that quickly for me, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. And just double check, Nina, are you on... Yes, you're on Warden 1. So one of her main priorities will be chatting to Gizmo, making sure that he's got food, And everything else that he probably needs. I suppose we could be nice and hollow out the mountain a little bit more for him. Nah, they'll be fine. Alright, so maybe you can continue doing that. How are you healing up, by the way? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we got a bulk's good trader coming here. Right. Oh, it's the raccoons as well. Check these guys out. Oh, but this one's actually... This one's riding a lynx. Oh my god. Yeah, they're riding lynxes. How cool is that? Someone's getting killed. Oh, it's an Arctic wolf versus a peppermite. And the Arctic wolf won, but it's going to die if it doesn't heal up. May have to see what the end result is for that. Might give us some extra resources. Okay, we need to get a... where's the trading spot? So, you get different traders in the game, and I got a mod which... I got loads of mods, you guys might have noticed by now. But we've got a mod that gives us some variety as well, so we can have animal traders... Blizzard's Revenge, what? Oh, right. Okay, finish this off for me. Nina, can you go and finish that off for me? We don't necessarily need a food, but if we can kill it, at least it's going to give me more food in for it. Although... Nina, how close are you to actually getting it healed up, by the way? 0.6. Okay, you're nearly back up to full health. That's fine. In that case, I'm going to avoid doing this a moment. Oh Christ, this is where you did a slurry peed. It's got a giant saddle on top. Cool. There we go. Okay, Nina, go and talk to Chen. Now, what I'm hoping is a bulk goods trader has often lots of like common stuff, which hopefully will include dirt, and it does. So I'm going to buy all of his dirt, and it's going to cost a little bit of money, but it's actually fairly cheap, and it means we don't have to spend the time and effort to actually make it ourselves, which is very useful. We could buy a radiac, but it's cost so much money we can't afford to. What we can do though is have a look to see if there's anything we can get rid of. Like, having extra meat would certainly come in handy, so I'll just buy all of their meat as well. Let's see, what do we sell here? Light leather can go. Human leather, actually get a fair bit of money from it, human leather. That can go too. We don't have much need for that or that. If we are going to make anything, we'll be using heavy fur or blue fur. Is there anything else we can sell? Could sell 2 components. I mean, we got 26 of them, and these are just cheaper because they probably deteriorated a little bit, but that doesn't bother me. We can sell those. Anything else? We could buy beer. We could sell them a slave collar. Yeah, I would say we haven't got the facilities right now to really make that work. A medical that uses partial cryo to sleep, slow down the degradation and help the body. Same side effect of cryo sleep, but a less severe thing. That's been brought in with one of the mods, and that could really have been useful. Like, it basically means that we can actually heal up more quickly, but it's going to make people a bit sick, because you're basically putting them in sort of suspended animation, so to speak. That could work. That could be quite nice. And what's this upgrade cabinet? Upgrade research bench. Very accurate. Okay, so it's not a big deal, but that could be useful later on. I am actually quite tempted for this. How much is it going to cost? It would use up nearly all my money to get everything that we want. Yeah, we're going to do it. Sure. There we go. Right. So we now need all this to be hauled in. That can be hauled in as well. We're going to have to install it, and it's probably going to cost some electricity, isn't it? Yeah, but you can see here, it actually allows us to gain more immunity. It gives us more better medical and all sorts. That's going to be really useful. Okay, so if you can haul these in, that'll be great. The meat needs to go in. Do that. Tyler, you can carry... Oh, maybe he's already carrying that in too. Okay, fair dues. Okay, so now that we actually got the dirt, we can actually open this up a little bit. So, in theory, we can actually do all of this. So what we're going to do, go on in here, smooth service, just get all of that done. Because, think about it like this, right? We need 2 bits per square, right? So that's 25. That's 25, because 5 times 5 is 25. Or another way to do this is that's 5, that's 11. So that means 55, and then we need to times it by 2. So 110. So now we got 114 bits of dirt. We can actually do this. And yeah, we'll of course be able to continue working with the fertilizing and that we've got here. But that's really going to help things out a bit for us. Okay, we've got our toilet now sorted, haven't we? Yep, that's good. Joshua Gizmo, how are you doing for recruitment purposes? Still a little way to go. I can speed things up a little bit more again now. Now, how much silver did we have left? 11. Okay, we don't have enough to do what I... Actually, we could. Just because I'm interested in checking it out again. Let's first of all go to Chen. Because what I want to do is I'm going to sell off 1 or 2 of the components that we got. And I'm going to have a speak with OI here. So let me see, we just need 20... Tell you what, we'll sell off the heavy fur. There we go, that gives me 100. We'll sell off the bouldermite meat as well, we don't need that really. There we go. So now, Nina, I want you to speak to OI here to check for quests. So another mod that we can do allows us to actually ask about different quests. And it's fairly cheap to do so. So we've got things like the hunting lodge allows us to go hunting and get some experience with shooting and stuff as well as meat. The annual expo is like a gathering of all the different factions. We can do different things with that. Harvesting request is basically a outpost or a town and will ask us to help them with their harvesting. And by doing so, we will get given crops, assuming we do good. We can get crops, we get experience with harvesting, and boost to our faction relations. And I'm not too sure what the ship crash is. I think that might be just an opportunity for us to go, scavenging, you know? To be honest, I feel a little tempted to ask about the harvesting request. So let's ask about that. Help wanted. Send a caravan with capable growers. Whereabouts do they want us to go? And with the generate planet, there. Okay, that's to a degree, that's not too far. The only problem is, because it's on the other side of the mountain range, it will take quite a while to get there. To give a rough idea, it's going to take 16.62 days. That's way too long for us to be warranted. But at least it was worth a try. Let's haul that back in now, please. Tyler, can you do that? Thank you. Right. In fact, Tyler, let's give you a weapon. I think it's been a while, and I bet might as well. It's better for him to have a weapon and not need it, than to need a weapon and not have one. You know. So we'll let that happen. Now you guys are going to continue carving this out. What I'm going to do as well then is we go on to farming, topsoil. We might as well just start popping this down so it can be transported up eventually. Miri, I'm going to ask you to interrupt your finger. Can we... Oh, come on. Oh, it's Bandit Camp Quest. What's this? That... Oh, that is so tempting. We're not able to do it because we haven't got the ability to do so. But if we completed that quest, we would get Resurrector Mech Serum. So you can read it there that basically it brings back characters from the dead. That it brings them back, and they just get temporarily sick because of being ill. As you can imagine, they're dead. They need a little bit of time to wake up, but they come back, and they tend to be just fine. They don't have to have any injuries or anything like that. It's really, really good. But we just can't. My colonists aren't capable of taking on 4 enemies at the same time. Huh. This... Where is this Galatros coming in? Down here. Right. Could this be something we could really, really take the mickey out of? Possibly. These... When I'm thinking... If we had a fast character, we could... I mean, how fast does this Galatros walk again? 5.70, so it's really, really fast. So we want someone ideally that's actually reasonably quick And what we could do... Oh, Christ, you know what I really want to try? But no, I really want to try and use this on it. Just to see if we can knock it down. But really, that'd be way... This is supposed to be like a really difficult thing. I mean, if you read the quest here, like, tribes run away from this, right? You know, not just one person, but, you know, this causes enemies to run in their dozens, so they don't fight it. And there's me thinking, oh, let's use CQC to take it down. But I want to try it. I do want to try it at the very least. Just so I can say I have. So, Nina, go off and see if you can use a military takedown on a giant walking blob. If it does, I am going to laugh so much. And I'll probably promise never to use CQC again. Try it over here. Yep, we're not down here anymore, it's up there. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh. Oh dear. Jesus, Do I want to kill it? I mean, I could. Oh my god, I didn't realize this is so... You know what? I'm going to do it this one time. But I think I'm only going to rely then in the future on doing it on either small animals or against the occasional human. I think this is something that, you know, you normally have to send groups of people after. I just send Nina to throw it to the ground. Something that will basically crush anything that comes nearby. Yeah, that's definitely overpowered, if that's the case. Jesus. Well, it's good to know for the future, at least. I mean, I'm still in a bit of disbelief. Facts, we could make some money out of this now. Miri, in fact, where are you? Oh, you're in the medibed, okay. Our trade caravan is leaving. Oh, damn. We're gonna get there too late. We might, yes, we are. Damn. So we could have sold off, because by selling this off, we actually get a horn from it. And a hell of a lot of meat, as you can see. Yeah, we get this Galatros horn. Now, unfortunately, the trader is already out of here, so we may have to keep the horn for later, but... Wow, to give you a thing, that's worth 1,200 by its own. And we've now got so much meat and leather to use. How good is the leather again? I can't remember. Furry hide is exceptional quality, probably one of the best possible levers in the Rim. Oh yes, that ability is really OP. I had no idea I could actually use it that much. Wow. I'm a little bit in awe right now, if I'm completely honest. Nina is one hell of a mercenary. That's all I can tell you. She's one hell of a mercenary. How are you doing anyway over here? 3.6. You are healing up. It's just he's in a cramped little room with a toilet and a bucket of water. It's not really the best place to be. Okay, resistance has been going down slowly, I guess. Right, Tyler, finish off smoothing some of the area here. I just want to make sure this is finished. At least do these 4, 6. There we go, I can count again. Okay, that's friendly AI from unit. Oh, Charlotte Whitestone. Nice to see you again. Okay. So what this is a way to basically a game, you know, complete game in Rimworld is to get your colonists off the planet you're on. And you can do that one of two ways. You can either A, research how to make a starship and build a starship of your own, defending the whole time against enemy raids and that, until you eventually get to the point where you can make it off the planet. Or you can head to this landed ship that spawns near the beginning of every game and defend it while the starship powers up, I guess you could say. Now the problem is that it often spawns quite far away, and to give you an idea, that's the edge of our map, and all the way over here is our colony. Now remember it took like 5 days just to get from here to here or something like that, right? This is going to take 124 days if we were going to try and walk that. So obviously it would be very difficult to try and carry that much days of food. So what you'd have to do is go a bit, settle down, get more resources, go carry on, settle down, and just keep doing that until you get near the end. And I've never done it myself. I just never go around to it. And your mood is really not that good, I must say. Is it worth me trying to keep you around then, if it's going to be the case? You are friends with Hannah, at least. Hannah doesn't think much of you, but you think a bit of her. Yeah, I just like the fact he's a gnome biologist. His job is, he enjoys basically sculpting garden gnomes and considers that, despite the fact that he's the corp director of Orion Installation, his passion is to make garden gnomes. I mean, that's crazy. Alright, what's this? Crushed Alright. Oh yeah, because you guys are working up here, aren't you? Okay, let's put some more topsoil down, now that we've done that. And I'll let you finish this, and we can actually put some more here too. There we go. And then, we can actually start planting stuff, right near the end of today's episode. Finally, we actually got enough dirt to be able to actually get that sorted. And I'll tell you what, might as well start putting a bit more here too. There we go. Now Nina's going to do that because her main passion is growing stuff. And that's the main job I've assigned her here. And, where is it? Here. And you can see that it also, well, here. And as you can see, that also includes laying down topsoil and stuff like that. So that's why she's rushing off to do this and hand it out to her. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is if she fails at constructing a tile of topsoil, that it will lose half the dirt involved. So we still will have to, I mean, basically we're going to have to buy more dirt, or at least make more dirt if we're going to do this. What's this? Hyperweave Royal Chair. I don't care too much about that. The flag checker. Chemfuel. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, the human implant. That's from the GeneticRim mod. And what it does, you can basically change a human stomach so it will eat anything. And yeah, it's kind of cool. Means it really doesn't care what you put in your mouth as long as you eat it, you know? Right, Tyler, I'm going to actually ask you to just finish off what you were doing over here. Because we might as well get this done, and that way at least 1 more hour from now we can actually make more dirt. And there we go. Okay, so that's that done. We just need to make some more blocks and keep going. Finish off making off the sand. We can then make dirt, and then we can add that to the amount of dirt that we already got sitting around out here. How are you doing over here? Oh, Nina must be at recreation time. Okay, Tyler's probably not too chuffed about the fact that I've asked him to continue working during playtime, but he'll live. How you doing, Gizmo? When push comes to shove, we can always execute him, I guess. I try to avoid doing that, especially like now he's no longer considered guilty. So if we killed him straight away and executed him, then we may have a slight debuff to our mood, -1, -2, but it wouldn't be a big deal because he's still considered an enemy. But at this point, we've kept him alive for this long, it's going to be a bit negative for the colony if all of a sudden we just turn around and, you know, kill him in cold blood. I'm still curious to know how this will work. Because it doesn't actually use power, and yet it increases our medical abilities using it. But the way it describes, like it's supposed to put them in sort of a light cryo sleep. And it just sort of feels weird that it doesn't seem to work like that. Really weird. Okay, Tyler, drop that down a minute. Take the fertilizer out. And focus on finishing off the last of the item stash. Plate. Oh, that would be really nice. There may be dangers there. Okay. So basically we can get plate armor, like, you know, knight's armor. And out of that particular type of material, it would be very, very tough. It's like one of the highest tier crafting materials you can get in this game. At least, you know, using the mod so far. There we go, so we managed to make some more dirt. Good job, Tyler. So you're going to come up here, going to finish that off. And okay, now the final thing we can do. I'm gonna actually ask you to make some of the topsoil. You should be okay doing this. I just want to make some of it, since when it's grown, the next thing we can do now is pop onto here, grow zone, and we can actually now get this growing. I'll tell you what, let's cancel that one. Just because I need somewhere to put the lamp. We install that there. We'll ask you to haul this up. Speed it up a little bit. Oh Christ, you're gonna go so slow doing this. Okay, never mind. Just move the heater for me, please. Thank you. And there we go. We can now expand this out a bit. And, oh Christ, we don't want potatoes. We want... We can actually do slow beets nuts. Which one grows quickly? Grows well even in somewhat... that's 6 days. That's... To be fair though, we've got plenty of food right now. Olive ones takes 10 days. Barley, beans. Common beans can be cooked up in many ways. What's got the most nutrition? 0.2, 0.25, 0.2, 0.2, 1.8, 0.2. That's going to take 6 days. Let's go for bean plants. I'm looking at the bottom bit because the nutrition, it determines like how much resource you get out of it, essentially. And the fact that we can get a little bit more nutrition out of it for only an extra half a day, to me, I think that's a little bit more useful than going for the rice option. Okay, let's expand this out a bit more again. Okay, that could be hauled out. Okay, then you can finish off this a little bit, and then we're done with that. Research is going on quite nicely. In fact, we've now finished the mending bench, it seems. Okay, let's move the mending bench, this down to... just take that, thank you. Let's just move that down to here for the moment. In fact, no, cancel that. Let's just move the wooden horseshoe pin over to the other side of the geyser. I'm sure people won't mind that. Can you move it? No? Maybe? Thank you. Alright, so there we go. What we can do now is pop onto production. We need to get a mending bench. We'll make it out of steel, I think. That's going to be a little bit more resource reliant. I haven't got as much steel, apparently. I'm sure we can make some. If not, we can always mine it out. There's plenty of resources around here for metal. Like we've got some here, for example. Have we really not got much metal left? What have we been building it on? Ah, Gizmo, I know you haven't really got much going for you in that little room, have you? Oh, what's this? Gizmo tried to flirt with Nino by joking about hostile Fletchers, and Nino ignored the advance. Well, of course, she's gay, but I find that amusing as a method to try and flirt with someone by joking about hostile Fletchers, of all things. But anyway, that's the end of today's episode, I think. I think now will be a good time to end it. So we've now got our first crop starting to grow in here, and that's really good to see, finally. I'm going to just expand the room out quickly while we're here so we can get a bit more done. But why is there just a random potato growing here? Delete that. Expand that down here too, thank you. But yeah, we've now got our first crop starting to grow, which is fantastic. We've got the more room as well to be able to actually grow at least some of it. And I think next episode we can start on actually getting the bedrooms done. And maybe start working in our rec room, dining room, and the kitchen and that. So we can actually start moving the base into the mountain itself properly. And then we can continue to expand out and in once we're done. And particularly if we can get us Gizmo to join the team, that would be quite nice as well. It gives us another miner, if nothing else. So yeah, a few things to aim for the next episode. But all I can say for today's one is thank you very much for watching, as always. And I hope you join me next time for more Rimworld. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and goodbye for now.